Hello again. This is Andrew Wells, pastor of Godly Love Christian Fellowship, and I'm going to pick up the reading in Acts, the second chapter. Again, this is in keeping with our 49-day fast. This is the second part of the reading in Acts 2, where the theme for this week of our 49-day fast is the baptism of the water and of the Spirit. I'm going to resume my reading at verse 14, here where we're about to hear Peter speaking. Again, this is the New American Standard Translation that I am reading from. But Peter, taking his stand with the 11, raised his voice and declared to them, Men of Judea and all you who live in Jerusalem, let this be known to you and give heed to my words. For these men are not drunk, as you suppose, for it is only the third hour of the day. For this is what was spoken of through the prophet Joel. And he quotes, And it shall be in the last days, God says, that I will pour forth my spirit on all mankind, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Even on my bond slaves, both men and women, I will in those days pour forth my spirit, and they shall prophesy. And I will grant wonders in the sky above and signs on the earth below, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun will be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and glorious day of the Lord shall come. And it shall be that everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Men of Israel, listen to these words, Jesus the Nazarene, a man attested to you by God with miracles and wonders and signs which God performed through him in your midst. Just as you yourselves know, this man delivered over by the predetermined plan and foreknowledge of God, you nailed to a cross by the hands of godless men and put him to death. But God raised him up again, putting an end to the agony of death, since it was impossible for him to be held by its power. For David says of him, quote, I saw the Lord always in my presence, for he is at my right hand, so that I will not be shaken. Therefore, my heart was glad, and my tongue exalted. Moreover, my flesh also will live in hope, because you will not abandon my soul to Hades, nor allow your Holy One to undergo decay. You have made known to me the ways of life. You will make me full of gladness with your presence. End quote. Brethren, I may confidently say to you regarding the patriarch David that he both died and was buried, and his tomb is with us this day. And so, because he was a prophet and knew that God had sworn to him with an oath to seat one of his descendants on his throne, he looked ahead and spoke of the resurrection of the Christ, that he was neither abandoned to Hades, nor did his flesh suffer decay. This Jesus God raised up again, to which we are all witnesses. Therefore, living, having been exalted to the right hand of God, and having received from the Father the promise of the Holy Spirit, he was poured forth this which you both see and hear. For it was not David who ascended into heaven, but he himself says, and I quote, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. End quote. Therefore, let all the house of Israel know for certain that God has made him both Lord and Christ, this Jesus whom you crucified. Now, when they heard this, they were pierced to the heart and said to Peter and the rest of the apostles, Brethren, what shall we do? We're going to conclude here. We'll pick up reading. Next time we will conclude Acts chapter 2. Then what I'd like to do is go back to our initial theme, our first theme in our 40-day fast, and read from the scriptures selected to support the theme that God is precious. So we'll finish up Acts 2, and then we'll go back to the theme that God is precious. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you.